I want to welcome you to my very first live show with regards to real estate. If you have any questions about real estate, whether you're buying, selling, or investing, give me a call. My number is on the screen, 702-328-3010. Let's give a warm welcome to my dear friend, Victor Vasquez. Are you there, Victor?
I am here, ready to go. And hey, man, I'm super excited about your show. When you told me the idea, I thought it was great. So I feel very honored that I'm actually your first guest, man. So hey, I love it. So thank you for the invite.
Who better than you, my friend? You used
Oh,
to have a
appreciate that.
show. I'm a big fan of yours. How long you been in the business now?
18 years.
Brother, it's been a ride, huh? I think we started about the same time. You were
Yeah,
working for Nation's Title. Now you're with Stewart Title, right?
that
Tell
is
us about
correct.
the change there. What happened? What made you? Well, actually, Nation's Title closed. Is that correct? Is that
Yeah,
where you
so
moved
they
to?
were going to a transition. It was getting a little hard for smaller title companies to stay afloat. So I was there for 13 years, amazing 13 years. I loved all my family there, and
Uh-huh.
I had to make the switch. But I'm very happy, man. And yeah, we known each other a pretty long time.
Well, thank you for being here, my friend. It's an honor to have you. And by the way, congratulations on your son, your child. I'm sorry, we don't know if it's a boy or girl yet, right?
Heck, yeah, you're right. It's like we're having a boy, so thank you so
Oh
much. I'm great.
wow!
Yeah,
Congratulations, my friend.
thank,
A little
thank
Victor
you,
is gonna be a
thank you.
junior, maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, Mateo was going to be here in November, so I'm super
What a
excited.
blessing, my
So
friend.
yeah, man, I'm ready to take on the world for this little boy.
Well, congratulations, my friend. Let me get some things out of the way and we'll continue with our discussion. We'd like to know where you're watching from. If you would please send us a message. We are seeing your comments coming in live. If you have any questions, we're going to answer them at the end of the show. Okay. So remember, ask your questions. Let me see. And like our show and share it with your friends. What do you think? Should we continue with the topics, my friend?
Let's do it. You have some pretty good topics today, so I'm excited to talk about them.
All right, my friend. Let's start with, is the market shifting to a balanced or buyer's market? Now, what is your feeling, my friend?
My feeling, and you and I were talking about this, William, about 3 weeks to a month ago. I started feeling this. And again, when you've been in the in this industry as long as William and I have, you just feel it, right? Sometimes you don't need the numbers. You actually just feel it. So
Yeah,
I felt it. And being the fact that I work with a title and escrow company, I get to see kind of like the blueprint of it all, right? So
uh-huh.
I noticing that when I was talking to realtors, their listings were sitting a little longer in the market.
Correct.
The buyers were not as it wasn't as crazy as to put offers. So listings, instead of getting like 30, 40 offers, even, we're now maybe getting 5, 10, 15. So it's starting to slow down little by little. So I think right now I feel a little bit of a shift. But just with everything going on, was is this shift going to continue to bring a buyer's market, or is it just going to go down again to a seller's market? That's what I'm trying to kind of pinpoint my finger on right now. Right now, I mean, if you're a buyer and you were frustrated because you couldn't find a home, right now you have a little window to get into a house. But the key is, how long is this window going to be there? So those are my thoughts, William. I felt it about 3 weeks to a month ago that we were feeling a shift. And I have a friend who works she's a realtor in Oregon, and she's experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, I keep seeing articles about nationwide, the market is cooling off. Obviously, we're a little bit different. We have California that's driving our markets here, coming in with a lot of cash. I'll give you a personal example. I had a beautiful, amazing client. I love her so much. She's so amazing. Her name is Diana. I hope you're watching, Diana. I had such a joy in showing her a lot of properties. The problem was we got about 11 or 12 offers that were not accepted. And so I started to feel a little bit nervous about it. I wanted to find her the right property. Well, lo and behold, this week we got her into escrow and we had two other properties that were interested in working with us. And so that was a surprise to me because after having 10, 11, 12 offers rejected, now we had some agents actually responding. So do I see a shift? I do. Now I was looking at the available properties. It was around 4,500 in this week. Last month was 2,900, which was an increase of what, over 1,000. And so was it on Saturday, Sunday, we dropped about 200, obviously because people are accepting their offers. But I do see a shift, and I do feel an energy shifting. We're seeing our buyers coming out of the woodwork saying, hey, I think I'm ready now. Let's get it going. So my advice to you, if you're looking for to purchase a home, would be, let's get those numbers going for you. Let's figure out where you are at financially. Let's get you pre-qualified, because I feel in the next 2 months the market is going to shift, not necessarily to a buyer's market, but for a more balanced market. Sellers, if you're thinking of selling your property, this may be the last chance for you. Again, may be the last chance for you to get top dollar. We don't know what's the market's going to happen. I have a magic 8 ball that I sometimes ask and try to predict the future, but it doesn't do a good job. So let's look at your situation. Let's get your property listed right now. What do you think, Victor?
It's one of those things that you try to, in this situation, I feel that you try to kind of go through the market month by month, even week by week, to see how the inventory is. But just, my general feeling is that there's so many factors going on, nationally and even around the world. Because we got to remember, William, remember when we shut down the first time last year in 2020? Yes. I mean, inventory went up, right? Inventory went up for like a month or so. Then right after that, inventory just starting to come down and down and down and down and down. So we're in a very particular situation where we can keep tracking it, but we're just not sure exactly where things are gonna go. And it's just crazy. And it kind of bugs me not to be able to pinpoint it.
Correct.
But right now, like, I do feel the inventory is going to rise. I do feel that in a couple months we're gonna get more inventory just because of the rental stuff going on. I do feel that, but some people are still waiting for this crash that it's not going to happen. I don't see it. There's a lot of checks and balances nowadays that will prevent that. But buyers, now's the window. Sellers, hey, look at the inventory. Yeah. And I put them to this way: inventory rises, prices goes down. Inventory decreases, then your prices goes up.
The old law of supply and demand. Absolutely. You're a numbers guy. You provide a zip code appreciation by year. This year was a banner year for sellers. Doesn't mean that it's going to change, right? It's not going to be a dramatic shift of a drop that you feel it's going to happen. You don't feel that drop is going to happen, right?
I don't feel it. I don't feel it. There's the equity that people gain. I think, did we cut off, William? Okay, we're back. So I just feel that with people, there's equity, so they have options, especially on the seller side. Now, we just got to tread carefully. We just got to analyze our data, and we just have to make sure we keep doing what we're doing, which is, serve our clients to the best of our abilities, and then just give them the information to make an educated decision as to what they want to do.
Wonderful. Let's go on to the next topic, my friend. Rents are increasing rapidly in 2021. And I think rapidly is not a good word. I would say exponentially would be a better word. It is such an amazing shift. How do you feel that's going to affect our markets right now?
Rents are crazy. I have heard, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching your show have heard of people paying a whole year rent just so they can get in the property.
Yes.
Then, hey, I'm going to give you $500 more if you rent the property to me. So it's really crazy what these rents are doing. And, you sent me the article this morning, and you sent me one today about that crazy guy who went to shut his tenant. So it's getting very crazy. Rents are getting skyrocket. So, if you're in that position where you're renting, you kind of have to maybe talk to somebody that will get you in the game and maybe buying a house, because right now you're paying close to what you're paying for a mortgage, right? Or maybe a little less, a little more. But I just think that if you're paying that high, you have a possibility to get a house. I mean, even to get into an apartment complex, they're checking your credit history. Sometimes they want W-2s. They're doing a background check. I mean, why not just get a loan? You're so close to almost getting a loan, so it would just make sense to do it. I think rents it's gonna keep increasing. You got to remember, people are moving in.
Before we go on, I want to say hello to Angela Sorrell. Thank you from California. Martha is online. Marta Mojica, and Veron Ingracia. Say hello. Thank you for watching, and keep those comments flowing. Do me a favor. Talk about this, the Vegas Valley rental image that you sent to all of us with regards to the market.
Right. So what I did, and I'm gonna maximize mine here. Okay. So what I did is I asked my data team to put a rental analysis of the market of the last 5 years. I'm a visual type of guy, so you can tell me all you want about how everything's going and the rents and the different prices each year, but I need to see it. So what I did is I told my data team to put together an analysis of the rents for a studio, 1 bed, 2 beds, 3 to 4 bedrooms, and you see the increase from 2020 to 2021. I think that's where the most significant increase is. I'm sorry, but I did get some pushback on social media telling me that the prices were low. People got to remember, we're just taking the average rents of the city, right? Obviously, a 4 bedroom home in Summerlin is going to be a lot more than a 4 bedroom home in a different
Absolutely.
area of town. So these are just averages. But these rentals, if you see year by year, I mean, it's just going to keep going up. And the way we're building like crazy. I mean, there's a lot of construction. They should have a cone as our city mascot or something, because there's construction
The
anywhere you look.
the state flower. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
the state flower. Yeah.
Yeah, we're continuously building. I remember back in '94, there was a major shift. This was January of '94. My neighbors used to ride their horses on Washington and Jones, and I came from California, so there was horses, in the city. And then maybe about 3 4 years later, they left, and then we had a major shift and a major growth in Las Vegas, and it just never stopped. And so I feel like that change is happening to us right now. I think we're going to be a mid city where it comes as far as population goes, and unfortunately our rental prices are going to hurt. They're hurting now.
Mhm.
So I think this may be a trend. I suggest, obviously, because I am in real estate, that you start looking into buying homes. Now, Victor, you know about down payment assistance programs. We do have programs available for anyone who's interested in buying a property. They are still available. Interest rates are low. If you have any questions, my phone number is going to be on the screen in just a few moments. And remember, there is down payment assistance programs if you feel like you need some help with regards to the down payment. You work with those programs. Actually, let me rephrase that. You've seen those programs come in through the Stewart title, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we see it all. And that's why, when I talk to agents such as yourself, I give you my perspective from the title portion of it,
Correct.
just because we're seeing the contracts that come in. I talked to you about a week and a half ago, and I told you, hey, guess what? We're getting some contracts, and guess what? There's seller contribution. The seller's actually giving some money to the buyers.
Right.
That's when I kind of knew, hey, it's happening. There's a shift, not a major, but this one's like little by little. That's how I'm feeling it.
Hey, before we close out, I want give us some information about this real estate market update that you provide. I know that we wanted to have the current one that's coming up available, but obviously it takes time to crunch the numbers. Can you give us a brief introduction? And we're going to make this available to you through our website, and we're going to make it available to you through our social media platforms. So give us a brief introduction onto this real estate market update, if you would, please.
So with the introduction, with the market report, this is what I look at on a monthly basis. So it lets us know the number of single family homes that were sold, the median closing price. It also gives us the estimated inventory levels, which right there on that report, it's about 0.7 months. And the second page, it actually gives a comparison of the month before and the year prior. So you can definitely get an idea of how the market is doing this month, last month, and the same month last year. And again, I'm a numbers guy, but I'm also a visual type of person. So once I see these reports and I see how the market's doing, this is kind of my ammunition out there when I'm talking to realtors, letting them, when they're asking about the market conditions. That's all I use this report. And yes, William, once the new one comes out, I'll send it to you, because it'll be really interesting to see these reports from the last 8 months. Just inventory just keep decreasing till all of a sudden start seeing that bump. So,
Yes.
but and again, the $1 million question: is it going to keep rising? Is it going to level up, or is it going to go down? I just cannot tell right now.
But the indicators are it is turning the corner, right? I feel like it's
The
turning the
indicators
corner.
is that, yeah, and I think in 60 days we're going to get more. That's my prediction. In 60 days we're probably going to get more. Again, in 60 days, we're going to be able to. I mean, we can do foreclosures now, but people cannot evict tenants. But it's going to be very, very interesting in the next 60 days.
Wonderful. Listen, my friend, I want to thank you for being here with us today. Um, let's Kurt Goldberg. Hello, Mr. Kurt. I love Kurt and Baran and Martha over at Cardinal Financial. They're showing their support. Just an amazing group of people that I work with regards to loans. They also do down payment assistance programs. And so if you have he says we are still getting a lot of rental contracts. The rental market is still strong in Las Vegas.
Mhm.
Absolutely, 100%. And we are seeing that. And that one of the topics and the reason why we brought up the rentals is because there's a lot of buyers that were frustrated with the real estate market getting outbid and such. So they're saying, you know what, I'm just going to rent for a while until the market has shifted. So yes, the answer is yes. There is a lot of applications coming in. I have a friend of mine who I sold a rental unit, and he got several applications. And he told me that a lot of those applications were challenging because people are their FICO scores were affected during the pandemic, which is another subject that maybe I could get Kurt or Veron to come into the show, or even Martha to discuss what is going on or how the pandemic affected FICO scores and what other programs they have. Kurt, I hope you're ready. But yes, rental markets are very, very busy with regards to applications. I agree with you 100%. But I'm hoping the market shifts so we can get those individuals that are in rentals in their own very home. What do you think, Victor?
I have a question for you though, William.
Yes.
So I've met actually quite a bit of people that cashed out their equity. The market is on fire. There's sellers. They had control of everything. I mean, my next door neighbor sold his property for $550,000, which I thought it was overpriced by $30,000. Now his reasoning was that I'm gonna sell high. I'm gonna go rent for 2 years. Okay, but he went to rent a house that was about $2,600 a month. Now, if he's going to stay there for 2 years, I mean, a lot of his equity that he's got is going to go towards a rental. And a lot of people did that. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Good question. I appreciate that question. I have a good friend of mine who has a lot of properties. He's a buy and hold person, 20 years plus. But there are some individuals that have that investor mentality, if you will. Buy low, sell high. And so they feel like this is the peak. So right now it's time to sell. So a lot of investors are getting their rentals and just saying, hey, let me just cash out and put my money somewhere else until the market corrects itself. Because it is the investor mentality of, buy low, sell high. Right now is the sell high environment. So no matter what, they're making their money. They're going to pull out and they're going to see what happens. They're betting that the real estate market is going to crash, which brings me to the next subject. I want to invite you over to in 2 weeks. I want to discuss how the real estate market differs from the 2008, 2009 crash as opposed to what's happening now. Are we going to see that type of environment happening again? I know that's a full subject, so let's not get into it, but I honestly feel like it doesn't. What is your opinion on that?
It's different. There's like I said before, there's a lot of checks and balances.
Yes.
I mean, and we won't get too much into it, but back in the days, you said you make $500,000 a year. Well, that's what you made. Nobody really checked on that,
Yes. There's one question I want to answer, and then I think I'm going to close out. Rafael. Hello, Rafael. How are you? His question is, now with sports teams here, do you think the market will stay strong even when the pandemic is still going? Rafael, thank you for that question. My answer is, look at what happened in the last, a year and a half. The market remains strong. So I don't see a shift in it. There's a big population shift coming from California. And I'm seeing a lot of people in Las Vegas who like a lot more elbow room are starting to go to either. I had a friend of mine call me. He's thinking of moving to Houston and Texas and such. So I'm seeing a shift. I think more people are going to come in than leave, but there's a lot of people that like that balanced rural style of lifestyle. So I don't foresee the market changing. I think it's going to be active. I think the way we modify our lifestyles with masks and such is going to continue for a while, but I don't think the market's going to be affected drastically. I don't feel like the interest rates are going to be shifting very much soon, especially now that the economy is still fragile based on the new Delta virus. So, to answer your questions, I don't think the pandemic will have an effect because of the historical year and a half, um, the market conditions. Victor, you want to take on that question too?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, sports have definitely brought a different dynamic to our city. I think pretty soon we're going to be one of the sporting capitals in the world, just with everything we have going. And like you said, with this whole there you go, with this whole pandemic, it actually the market, it's a very strong market. It's a very strong, and I just got a report from CoreLogic today, and I'll send it to you, William. Las Vegas was was in fourth place of people coming into Las Vegas. So we're seeing a lot of movement of people are coming here. I mean, there's more people coming in than people leaving.
Yes.
So I do foresee it's a strong market. It's a shifting market, but I don't expect the shifts to be going like haywire. It's just gonna do little corrections here and there, and and at the end of the day, we just have to stay in a good mental mind. Just be positive about things, and there's so much negativity going on, and sometimes I'll be honest with you, William. I felt like in our industry, in the real estate industry, I feel like we lost the human touch a couple months ago just because how the pressure that everybody was under. I
Yeah.
just hope we get back to just being courteous with one another, helping each other out, and that's
I
all I have
agree
to
with
say
you.
about that.
I agree with you 100%. I remember when the market crashed, it was horrible. I mean, it was hard to get a hold of agents, and we were just, you know, it was tough. Do I see it at that level? Not necessarily, but I did feel that tension, and I'm hoping that it goes back to a balanced market. Let me touch on the real estate market update. I know we're running a little bit long. Thank you all for your questions. We are gonna have an update on this market report in about a week. Is that correct?
Yeah, it comes out. I should probably have it either next Thursday. It comes out, so
Okay.
I will send it to you ASAP.
Real estate market update gives you the general information about the market. If you want specific information, we can narrow that down to a zip code. And by the way, if you want information about your specific property, send me a message. I can get you a specific no obligation report on what your home is doing. And I can even walk it with you and give you some pointers if you're thinking about selling in the next month or two. No obligation. Victor Vasquez, is always a pleasure. And guess what? I need to apologize in public. I misspelled your name. Is Vazquez. Your last
Don't
name is
worry,
important to
brother.
me, my friend. I do apologize for that. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate your energy, my friend. I'm going to see you in 2 weeks, where we're going to discuss the 2008 market and how it differs from the current market.
Let me know. Thanks for the invite, and I hope the information is valuable because that's what I strive to provide. And again, I'm just giving everybody my humble opinion. So we'll see.
Okay, give us how we can reach you, and we'll let you go, my friend.
My number is 702-379-8807. I also do have a Facebook group that I share a lot of statistics and stuff like that. So send me a friend request at Victor Vasquez. My group is called Victory Agents. So let me know, and we'll get you at it.
Thank you, sir. I will be calling you in just a few moments. Have a pleasant day, and let me close out the show. Thank you, Victor. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
And we're going to close out